What's up, y'all? It's me, Tasha C, and in this video I will be reviewing Married to Medicine Season 2. I think this is episode 7 or 8, I don't know for sure. And shout out to my YouTube family, my old and new subscribers, and if you like what you see, press the subscribe button and make sure you like and share this video. Okay. Anyways, this is the only time I wish I would have watched this last night instead of today. Well, I probably won't upload this until Tuesday by the time this is done. But this was a better episode than it has been the last, ever since the first episode, really. So, this is the next day, whatever, or how many days. And, I'm just going to go to the highlights, what stood out. Mariah takes her husband to get hair implants, and even though they're supposed to give him like a local anesthetic, well, I don't know what it was supposed to numb something. I don't know what the hell it really numb, because they, shaving the man's part of his hair off, and he's screaming, and they inject the stuff in his scalp. So I know that looks painful as hell. And Mariah just sitting in the waiting room. Oh, I feel my husband pain, but she's all like, her husband is a Latin and she's Jasmine. And they on a whole new world, a new adventure and shit. So that's where it's going. Then her mom and her sister comes there as support. And, she's bringing up about so-called, she's just delusional about why in the world Rico and Quad are after her. She keeps saying, like, Quad is the only one putting up shows. And it's like, girl, you just sat there and just named yourself after damn Aladdin, a Disney movie. And that's a movie, and they actually made a show. So, I mean, I'm just saying. But, her mom, again, didn't her say now all these people are hating on her. Just like she said, those people are envy of you. She decides to point out, y'all, that they're hateful like skinheads are. Okay, we're going to pause on that. Even though also I realize they are rarely in some cases, there are skinheads, they just practice wild stuff like that. They're not. Now, Nazi skinheads and stuff like that are examples of the racist ones. And they're skinheads, they're Jamaican ones, and they just like Ross moves, I think, smoking weed or some shit. Okay, I may be, but I heard of that before, like actually a documentary or something. This is several years ago, like National Geographic, one of those type of things. And they were saying that. So when she's saying skinheads, but Musi wants to let us, Miss Musi wants to let us know she knows supposedly big words, and she wants to form her daughter like everybody's jealous and everybody's supposed to bow down. So we know that there's, she's supportive of her daughter and stuff, protect daughter's back, but it seems like Lucy is butting herself in her business, just like, when she's sitting here and, purse whopping Toy beside her head last season. Is kind of like, well, she even started to check the Toy because she didn't say hi to her in the event, and that's kind of how it's, she put her 2 cents about some hi, some event or something. Alright? To see a Toya called her a bitch. I'm just saying. And even though I don't like Tacky Toy that much, it's just the point is, it's like a yes situation, or I'm making sure I get that extra Michael Kors purse I wanted to get for Christmas, whatever. So, fast forward to dealing with the husband. The next day, y'all, a couple days later, her husband looked like he was in a fight. Not just a fight like the effects of surgery, but his eyes are sitting here like barely open, just swole. And, all to get this, I guess, that hair better be beauty and luxurious, okay? It would look like he can get a possible partnership and a deal with Pantene or one of those Urban Answers or whatever shampoos, but what he's going through just to satisfy, accommodate his wife because she wants to be in a whole new world, okay? So, anyways, another scene is, Jackie was kind of there, we kind of seen her really with Dr. Simone and later on in this event. Now, Simone is, dealing with the effects of how finances and, one of the main causes in divorce is, financial trouble. One of them. And I'm not saying they're going divorce, but just one of the problems that she's having to be financial problems. And it's affecting every part of her life, including even the sex life, intimate relationships with her, same thing, really, almost. In some cases. With her husband. So, she, is coming there like, just like, she's practicing to be a human zombie, but that's how tired she is. She's been basically working for nothing and taking money out of her savings just to meet the payroll because this electronic system has become more burden than profitable. And, you know, all the years that she's been in practice or been in office, she's never been in this problem before until now. And when she comes home, even her sons are sitting there talking about what's going on with mom. And the dad is sitting there, you know, like, how's your day? You look like you beat up. What do you mean beat up? I'm not beat up. I gotta go to bed. She on her way to the bed. And even her kids is like, you know, you about to go to sleep, mom. I think the youngest one. And she's like, what do you mean? Yeah, you gonna go to bed. And then y'all notice that little comment, the dad was saying something about you messing with these plates and stuff, and you said you up there eating nuts and you eating these nuts or something like that. He said, but the boys were laughing. I think there was, you know, that comment about, you know, guess what, these nuts. I don't, I know that was irrelevant, but yeah. So she's on her way to the bed, and they talk about, you know, how the relationship. She confesses to Jackie later on. She hasn't had sex with her husband in 60 days because she's so tired, and I guess she's not in the mood, or she's so groggy. She basically, I guess, honey, I got a headache. In her case, she likes to fill in the bathroom and, you know, and probably check how many, you know, brushes or whatever the heck she has going on there. You know, Lysol the corner of the bathroom, a bathroom tub. I don't know, but she is basically saying this is taking a toll, and she's avoiding having sex. And even you know, she has Dr. Jackie. Dr. Jackie's like, even I get in at least Friday and Saturday, you know, a couple times a week. I schedule that, keep a happy home, happy husband. And some more is, like I said, her and her husband, it was one funny scene, but, you know, they are on the internet, and she said, we're at least connected, you know, through the internet connection, you know, home connection. He's like, even then, you know, sometimes we disconnect at the same time. Now, he was like, you didn't catch that dirt. But she's like, get your ass out of here, something like that. But yeah, so they're having some issues related to the effects of her job, and she, like I said, later on is talking to Dr. Jackie, the usual Tuesday lunch break / meeting hangout time. And she's informing her, like, basically, you know, she's a little bit better than what she was. Dr. Jackie said, why couldn't come and tell me? And she felt a little better, you know, she felt like she would have been a burden to her friend, and that's not her issue, but she is doing a little better, so we'll see from there. Okay, hopefully everything works out where it's just a temporary problem and everything is good for her business as far as getting that electronic stuff in, you know. So anyways, let's go to Dr. Hamilton. Now, Lisa Cole wasn't really featured. Like I said, some of these people weren't featured until the main event, or kind of like to be continued type of part. Dr. Heavenly is brought in. First she works with a patient. Then we see this guy in the corner, I think named Brian, and under the title is Mariah's cousin. And now he is Dr. Heavenly's stylist. And the first thing he said, which just sounded a familiar story, this is a third person in this season who has Mariah has, you know, basically like if you work with anybody beyond Mariah, or like Princess Jasmine, she likes to call herself as one or another aliases. She sits there and basically turns on people. And she, you know, feels like she is so above beyond people, and she has made them relevant. And quick question, y'all. Do you really think if she didn't have the husband that she had, would she be as relevant as she is? Because she's so quick to talk about Cry like she basically, you know, picked her up from the back of an alley. It's what she mainly is trying to say and try to make her a better person. And, you know, her mom, Miss Lucy and her sister, especially Miss Lucy and her sister, are trying to convince her, like, you know, she was always this way, she was a snake and everything else. But it's kind of like, ugh. You know, so he's basically saying, like, I guess when he found out, I don't know, I think she was working with Dr. Taylor, because Dr. Taylor said, do you think she has a problem with me? I guess recently, he was saying she basically said, you know, she never gave him credit for all the time he styled her and all this other type of stuff. And then he said he can fuck up his life with one phone call and destroy his reputation, because, you know, that's how powerful this bitch in her head thinks she is. I mean, you know, I'm surprised she doesn't call herself the baddest bitch, the way she, you know, she has that mentality, you know. So, you know, Dr. Hemley's like, you know, this is kind of an ongoing problem that she started patterning. Because, you know, some people, there are cases now where you got people who will talk bad about somebody and it just spreads like wildfire, and that's not really true of them. But then there are times also where it's the reason why it's being said because there's a strong chance of it being true. So, and especially since we still don't know, y'all, why and Quad and Mariah have like this beef or how deep it is. We're just seeing the outline of it, but whatever occurred is deeper and may not be displayed during the stay. We just keep saying, she tried me, and we don't know how she tried her, okay? We don't know. So, anyways, y'all, so Soccer Hammer says she still likes Mariah, but Brian tries to warn you, better be careful because you might be on her list yet, and you don't even know you're on the list. You know, you stand in line and stuff. You number 3, you didn't even know you're on number 3, okay? For her list of who she's going to attack or try to slander or, you know, talk about. She's not going to throw some cherry, get off her track, throw tomatoes with the fleas or whatever the fuck she's talking about. So, anyways, we go to another scene. And, you know, we got Quad talking to the guy who is over, you know, the charity, fashion, breast cancer awareness type of event. And, you know, of course she's talking to him. I forgot what his name was, but he starts with an R. But he's obviously cool with Rico and them too. And she kind of tells her all about what happened at, you know, the Women in Power event, the WIN event. And how it did not go well because of the circumstances with, you know, Mariah. And she said basically some people, she made them relevant. And, you know, Quad is basically, you know, besides we get a nice little fashion show, the Quad let us know, like, you know, I have a body that people image she does. Like I said, she has a nice figure, physique, so you give her credit like that. But it turned like, you know, a fashion show. And then she's talking about the event real quick and, you know, whatever. So, yeah, we got that. Toya only makes an appearance at the end of this episode. So, yeah. So, a lot of this stuff, fast forward, doesn't really happen until this event. So let's go to the event, shall we? Now, I forgot to mention that also in the same conversation you have with Lucy when her husband was just getting, you know, plugged with the implants. Because remember, she wants her husband to make sure he has, even though she made Kubashi, whatever race that she said, black, I'm not trying to insult the race, but she made up a race, they made a race together. She does not want her husband to have, you know, silky but kinky hair, okay? She wants him to have pure hair. That's what she said, want him on her, I guess, when she met him, stuff like that, whatever, right? So around the same time, she's thinking her Quad is trying to set her up with a setup to invite her to this charity event. And, you know, of course, her mom is sitting here being a main cheerleader. Yeah, they jealous. I think it's set up too, like her sister as well, okay? But, okay. So anyways, fast forward. Now, at the event, Mariah actually doesn't show up in time for the event at all. You know, it's almost like she has an intuition that she knows she's going to cause, or just her presence being known. I don't know if she knew Rico was going to be there, certain other people was going to be there, but yeah, okay. So, the event, people are talking about it, you know, or getting prepared. Lisa talks to Jackie and lets him know that she's feeling, but you know, because Jackie was concerned. It turns out she was happy to find out, which was good that she was, you know, it's not supposed to be, you know, it's cancer free. And, you know, because Jackie was worried. Dr. Simone has a bit. Toya is there, and Toya was kind of thinking, like, why should you wear pink? And, you know, Jack in confession was like, okay, it's a pink, it's the color pink is for cancer, but especially breast cancer awareness, color. Even though I noticed most of the people in the audience didn't wear pink, or, you know, unless they had, like, you know, a little pin or something like that, or something indicating pink, but a lot of people didn't wear pink, but you know how tacky Toya is, and she has to make her presence known. And so, later on, we got the ladies coming in. A lot of the women that were part of this fashion, you know, runway with the pink dresses most of them were cancer, you know, breast cancer survivors, you know. And we were hearing, like, some information was true. 1 out of 8 women, you know, are, you know, have kind of contact with breast cancer. So even if you don't have it, or if you don't have families have it, you at least know people have it. And I, you know, like I said, I could truly agree. We have a cousin with breast cancer. Like I said, my next door neighbor, I just said hi to her the other day. She, you know, just had recent surgery a couple weeks ago, and she was in stage 3. So, you know, God bless her. So, God bless them all. But I'm just saying it's common, and you know, auntie that passed away that also. But I'm just saying it's very common. Then when we think of people, you know, the women and men, there are men too who also suffer from this as well, that go through that situation and that illness. And so, We got that going on, and they're just talking one about where's Mariah. So of course, Rico, I think, is already there. He's cool enough, but it's just you start to see something. You know what I mean? So, anyways, y'all. After the show, everybody just garnering around, but we had everybody from Dwight coming there. Also with Lisa Nicole. Lisa Nicole had one of them dresses like she's obviously might be working with a third child later on that evening with her husband type of dress. I mean, or they might have worked on it before they got there. You never know. But I'm just saying, it's just that her husband comes with her to the event, and Quad's husband's there. I think I don't know Toy's. I don't think Toy's husband was there. Was Simone's husband there too? I know Jackie's there, but I don't know if her husband was there either. But anyways, y'all, let's get to the main event. Because even though it was a good episode, there still wasn't a lot of stuff that like stood out. You know what I mean? And so Mariah comes in at the end. Quad goes, to change into another outfit. And Mariah comes in with, of course, her entourage, including her yes women who happen to be related to her, including her own mother and her sister, who, I mean, like I said, Miss Lucy sometimes be trying the most. And, remember if anybody watched it, the little bonus scene in between, that they were talking about Mariah to mess with her. I know it was Rico, and I think Dr. Simone or somebody, but he was talking. He said actually he doesn't have a problem with Miss Lucy. He actually is fond of Miss Lucy, okay? But this has nothing to do with her. So she got nerves to have a bodyguard. Really? Bodyguard with her, and she got to have that means she had at least 3 to 4 people with her, okay? So Rico, as soon as he sees it was like, how we y'all ever seen the cartoon Warner Brothers with the bull, or and you see the steam coming from his darn nose, not right here, nostrils, right here. And that's how he started looking. He was just so pissed off because earlier he also had said, I think before she came, that people you say both of their parents were cool with each other, and through high school, I mean they knew each other in high school. Their parents were cool with each other. People even thought they were going to be a married couple when they got old. That's how close they were, where the case was. And he felt insulted, like how she thinks she made him relevant, and considering that he been in the game longer than what the hell before she started claiming herself like it's Princess Jasmine. So she's all talking. It turned out it was true somewhat that she sat here and made it that she was kind of ticked off because she worked with his rival. She was telling them when she got there, a couple like Dr. Simone, I think Toya, somebody, because they sitting here like, okay, once they realize security, people are like, what the hell? And she is sitting here talking about some, yeah, she was kind of actually frustrated. That was supposed to be her boy, and she felt kind of insulted that he didn't ask her for the cover or something like that. So somewhat what he was saying was actually true. She did feel offended about him asking someone other than herself. But I don't know. Of course, she was confirming exactly like she felt some type of way that he asked her after he asked her or something like it was something like that along the lines. But so she's up here talking about those lines. So Rico all of a sudden, he goes over there because he wants to battle because he's just like, let's get this over with. And the kid kept telling to Dr. Simone, like, let's get this over with. And Dr. Simone like, huh? What the hell with me? We already knew something was up. But he kept saying, let's get this over with. I just want to get this over with. But I guess he wanted to really call her out on her shit was really what the thing was. Even though a vest was taken off. We're talking about coat vest. Okay. This is how the point got. So he goes up there, he goes to hug Mariah's mom. And then he goes to kiss her on the cheek. And she kind of moves like this, like, whatever. Because, Mariah's head, she feels that she has not done anything wrong. And she's like, I don't understand why would he have. But like I said, it's not just this. It's also with the cousin. I want the cousin be brought back again. But like I said, it's either or. Either it's a strong chance this is true about you, or this strong chance that you just picked the target because you are just that, everybody's hating on you. Okay, everybody hates Mariah. Maybe that's it. So he's basically trying to tell, like, okay, whatever, but he wants to let her know, like, you're trying to say the same stuff about you made me relevant. Quad is still somewhere changing her dress with her at the time when all this shit went down. And he's basically like, you know what, you trying to say like you made me relevant and stuff like that. And I've been 20 years, all this time, blah, 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 so no type of things. And here's Mariah basically like, I know he's talking about blah, blah, blah. Because we're a security guard, he's like basically like, but get out of my face with that stuff, okay? He ain't even gone by. And, you know, here go to Miss Lucy, like, taxi to him. He's like, whatever, Miss Lucy, this ain't got nothing to do with you. But every time he just, like, kept saying something, she just, like, you know, just kind of, like, nagging as hell, because she's, like, she don't want, like I said, she's trying to make sure her Michael Kors purse for Christmas is not, you know, it's not fucked over, because she's not doing her job to be another bodyguard, indirect bodyguard for Mariah, technically. So he basically just kept saying, like, you know, you just you see veins all this next stuff popping up on here, and he basically, like, you know what, whatever, blah blah blah. You bitch, you up here trying to say people were, you know, just like he frustrated with the stuff she said behind his back. And Mariah still sipping her wine and stuff, like, I don't know what these people's talking about, whatever. And I ain't worried about straight, because this is it between the professional, because she really's not saying nothing. She's kind of has the same look as she did when Quad confronted her at the WIN conference. And you know, there, and she's still sitting up there talking, I don't know what these people are talking about. Or maybe she might have a case that she could be delusional, thing like, you know, or makes up an audience that's not really there. We don't know. We don't know. Okay, I'm just going by these facts, and they kind of are scattered around, and there's only little so much we go by, because we don't know the truth, and especially since we don't know why Quad and, you know, them, you know, Quad and her messed up, you know, which people are sad. Some are sad because they were so close at one time. And, you know, he just getting, you know, fed up, like, you know, again, like he's saying stuff, you know, Mariah ain't really saying too much of nothing, and she is, you know, Rico's over talking it, you know, he's so much that way. I think the dude that was a fashion designer was over the thing, was holding back, and somebody else was, because he getting the point, he, like I said, taking off the vest, and stuff, like he about to do something, because he's just that pissed off, okay? The volcano exploded. Lava everywhere, pissed off. And like I said, he's basically getting to the point where, you know, blah 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 blah. It was just a lot of words that, like, he's angry, very angry, frustrated, furious. So they had to basically take him in this car because we don't know what he's going to do next. As far as I don't know if he's going to say, like, he's going to beat her ass, but I think that's even how Mariah was taking it. Like, he about to do something, blah blah blah. Like I said, it was just that he was really just ticked off of her by saying this stuff, and that's supposed to be one of his good friends. And then she just sitting there, like I said, mom just, you know, whatever. So after he left, Mariah, you know, they're outside the building after that incident went on. And Quad comes outside, and actually Quad, you know, I think Dr. Simone, a couple of them are asking her, you know, what, you know, they're trying to tell her what happened. And Quad was like, I kind of wonder, should I have been here to see what the heck happened, you know, because, you know, it was said, of course, about the Rico thing and stuff to her, was also reported that how she did him wrong. And she's like, I can't really say nothing in terms of that, you know, to a certain point, you know, I can't speak for his side, but to that point, but I sure can speak on my side, what she's done to me. And then it seemed like a little later on in that, like towards the last scene, you got Quad and her entourage and Toya, you know, she's talking to Toya, I think, and Lisa Nicole, I guess, they're trying to find what was said. And she's talking basically shit about Quad, about her shows and blah, 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 and whatever else stuff about her, you know. And Quad is basically like, wait, hold on. You know, she doing the finger to the people she was talking about. Wait a minute, I think I talked to her about this, because she just here. Now, Quad is not even talking about nothing about her, but Mariah's making it known. I'm surprised she didn't have a goddamn bullhorn to sit here and talk about Quad's this, to us just be this way. You know, basically talking the same stuff she's been talking the past couple episodes, and even this episode about her, you know. So she got, you know, all of a sudden Quad was going over there like, wait, I'm about to go right over there and get a talk. And then it kind of ends, and you just see her, like, arguing or about to start pointing, checking Mariah at the thing. So I think her husband was at the end talking about something, no, don't say it. And I think that's next episode. You know, don't do anything, blah, blah, blah. But that's the whole thing. It pretty much is. So it was a better episode. And, you know, that's it. That's the highlights I got. So anyway, y'all have a pleasant week, pleasant night, pleasant weekend. I'll definitely see next episode, and we'll see how this plays out, and we'll ever really find out the real reason why Mariah and Quad fell out. All right, take care, y'all.